Robert Hough, and I jumped out of North Cascades in 51 to 55, right out of high school. I'd never been in an airplane. Made 10 jumps before I ever landed in one. And this instance was on my 10th jump. We had the old Nordine, which was single engine aircraft that we used as a jump plane. The setup in the Nordine, it had a bar across the back part of the aircraft right after the door, and this was to keep cargo and whatnot from sliding towards the tail. I jumped second in the two-man stick, and I had a habit of reaching out, grabbing that bar, pulling myself out, following the lead jumper. In the second year, on my 10th jump, they changed the setup so that they put a cable attached at the bottom of the door, angling up to the backside of the aircraft, and they put the static lines to the back of the aircraft, and they held them in place with a rubber band. Well, in this particular instance, lead jumps, I follow him, and I had my arm out to the right to grab that bar. Well, the bar wasn't there, of course, and in this instance, the lead static line vibrated enough and it broke the rubber band on my static line, and it slid down that cable, so that when I had my arm out to the right reaching for that bar, which wasn't there, the static line came underneath my arm, and it went from the chute under my arm and out, so that when I got out, it pulled and I spun with the thing, and it pulled the main chute out, and I trapped it right under my arm. So the thoughts that go through your head at that time is, where are those static lines? They're going to wrap around my neck, and I held it and immediately reached for the reserve and pulled the reserve up where I could see it because I was falling over backwards. Pulled the reserve chute, it popped, and the difference, of course, is that the reserve is a 24-foot chute, and our main chute was 28. So also, the reserve hooked in the front of your shoulders onto your harness, whereas the main came off the top of your shoulders, so that when you are coming down in your reserve, you're not straight up and down. You're leaning back. You can't see over the front of your feet. You got to look down the side in order to see the ground, to see how close you are. Well, in this particular case, when I hit the ground, I rolled backwards, of course, but I'm trying to hold myself from just the sitting position, which is no, because my head went back and it's just like the end of a whip, pop. Well, it knocked me out, of course, and I came to with Francis Lufkin, who was the station manager, leaning over me, and I was okay, of course. And I looked up, and here is a parachute coming down, and I'm thinking that the spotter, who was Elmer Neufeld, why did he jump? And what it was Hal Wyman, who was the jumper that jumped first. He's still coming down, and I beat him to the ground by half a way. And so that's why I always said, or titled this, The Rapid Descent.